this week. You're going to be writing your introduction. And it's very important that you follow APA format for that, and I'll be pretty picky. There's a great example listed there, so make sure you click into that example and just follow that format for your introduction for that final capstone that you're going to do for that critical assignment. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. So as I was contemplating what to talk about this week, I always try to make it very relevant and personal to maybe what I'm going through, what maybe I think that you can relate to, and try to tie scripture in with just our daily lives. And through my journey in health and fitness, I've had quite a few opportunities to work with other fitness instructors and personal trainers in the industry. One of the things that I get lots of questions about are body competitions, and are they healthy? I have had several trainers, even within my organization, that have joined these competitions, and unfortunately, a lot of them who come out of it will say, as a Christian, they just felt like it was going to the extreme. So I just kind of want to touch on this very briefly. You know, in today's society, there's a lot of addictions and a lot of things that we turn to when we're in pain. Sometimes that's alcohol, that's drugs, and of course those are not acceptable. Really have come to believe that competitions, talking about powerlifting and power weight competitions, I'm feeling are one of those addictions and are very extreme. You know, God is a God of balance, and He wants us to have a balance in mind and in body and in soul. He never asks us to go to the extreme in something that will actually harm our bodies. And throughout the doctoral process, as I had to review lots and lots of medical journals for assignments, and I've looked and poured over body competitions and extremes in exercise, and I really have not found one positive thing that happens to the body during that time. Now, outwardly, it looks fantastic. You know, a lot of people that have got to that extreme and did all the dieting, you know, went on all the different types of pills, and hopefully not the steroids, but a lot of times they do use steroids and that type of thing. You know, you can really see that muscle definition. And now they have this thing called bikini contests within the muscle competitions, the bikini body. And you know, aesthetically, it looks perfect when you look at somebody that has no body fat, or very little, I couldn't say no body fat, but very little body fat, and has worked out and defined all those muscles. But unfortunately, the steps they've had to take to get there are not good, and they are harmful to the body. And again, in all the medical journals I've seen, there's not only short-term damage that happens to the heart and to the liver, to the kidneys. It has to filter all the different proteins and pills and all that type of thing. There's so many things that happen within the body when you go to that extreme that are not healthy. And so I recently had to talk to a friend of mine that I work with at the gym. She's a fantastic Christian. She's a wonderful personal trainer, but she got kind of sucked into this body competition, one of her first competitions. She trained for about 6 weeks and literally practically starved herself. She ended up winning this competition, and she looked fantastic. And I know that it takes a lot of discipline to get to that point, except that I just had to share with her that I think that God was taking her down that she was going down the wrong path, and she was being deceived and really been pulled into a world that is an addictive world. And I tried to explain to her, not a counseling background, a master's in health counseling, and I was trying to explain to her that a lot of people that go through those competitions are in extreme pain, or they're masking some type of pain. And so they've gone to the extreme of exercise. And I had another friend that has come out of the body competition. She's been out of it about 10 years, and she actually won Miss Florida about 10 years ago. And she will tell you, she has a testimony after testimony of the damage, the physical damage that she's done to her body, but also the damage that she did to her family and the people around her during that time, because all she did was focus on exercise. And she lived in the gym, which you pretty much have to do to get to that level. You have to live in the gym, and you have to go to extremes in your diet. And even if you're only doing that for a temporary time and you take a break to go back and do that again for another competition, it's not healthy. And so I really encouraged my friend recently to think about why she got pulled into this. And she had recently gone through a divorce, and she was telling me that she was in a lot of pain, a lot of emotional pain. And that's how she was choosing to handle that. And again, you know, if she was going into drugs or alcohol, we would be first to say, hey, you're headed down the wrong path. But when people tend to go into this body competition, a lot of society thinks, oh, that's a healthy way to deal with pain. And you know, exercise is a great way to deal with pain. God gave us exercise, and those endorphins that are released in the brain when we exercise are those feel-good hormones that do help us cope with pain. So there's nothing wrong with exercising healthy and in a healthy way to deal with pain. But when, again, you go to that extreme, there's a problem there. So I just want to encourage you, because you are in the health and fitness industry, kinesiology here, I want to encourage you to think about those things. If you are going into the area of exercise or counseling other people or training other people, I'd be happy to talk with you in more detail. And I can even send you a couple links to some lectures from some of the trainers in the industry that have gotten out of body competition because of the extreme. But I just kind of want to give you a heads up that be careful not to be sucked into what the world views as perfect or perfection, or what the world views or the society says is where you need to be in fitness. Make sure that you have a balance in mind, body, and soul. And the scripture I want to leave you with comes from, let me get it right here, it's Matthew 22 and verse 37. And it says, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind. So you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. So make sure that whatever you do, that your love for God comes first. Because if you love God with all your heart, that mind and that body and that soul will fall into a good rhythm and a good balance and a healthy balance, because God is a God of balance. So I just want to leave you with that today. I hope you have a great, blessed week. And if you're on spring break, try to get a little bit of rest and relaxation and